Hi there, happy hump day and welcome to Wednesday. So today we're talking about decision making. Now we all love to think that we're rational beings and that this rationality extends to how we make decisions. But unfortunately it doesn't quite work like that. Bias pervades our decision making, and often this bias is unconscious. And that's because we don't make decisions on facts alone. Our emotional reaction has a huge part to play in how we make decisions. We make decisions on hunches, gut instincts, reactions, and a lot of that is based on what we've seen in the past, our expectations and our assumptions. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that all the decisions we make are going to be bad decisions. But what the research shows is that our brain just discards information that it doesn't think that it needs. It takes shortcuts when it makes decisions. And when it's discarding information, it's letting go of things that doesn't fit with its view of the world. And so because our brain is constantly looking out to protect us, to make sure that we're safe, it's very easy to make a decision where we think we're making a very sound, rational decision. And in fact, we're not. What we're doing is shutting our mind off to different perspectives and different ideas. Daniel Kahneman, in his really brilliant book, Thinking Fast and Slow, shared the many years of research into this field. And he talks about how the automatic and the instinctual part of the brain can lead us to cognitive bias, and that we can place way too much confidence in our own judgment. What happens is it leads to things that you've heard of before, such as sunk cost, where we keep investing in something, we keep doing something, even when all the data that's in front of us suggests that we should walk away and do something else. Or anchoring, where we place too much emphasis and base our decision on that first piece of data, that first piece of information that we've heard. So history, if you look back through both your personal life, professional life, open the history books, history's littered with things that have happened where people have relied on that bias to make decisions which then haven't actually turned out to be all that good. So when I think about decision making, to me there's three core parts to think about to help overcome some of that bias. Firstly, it's the awareness. So really being clear about the decision you're making, when you're making the decision, what information you're looking at, opening yourself up to really making sure that you're considering a whole raft of different ideas and different perspectives, and that you're conscious of the limitations that your brain has and how bias may be playing into the decisions that you're making. Secondly, analysis. How are you analyzing? How are you sourcing data? How are you making sure that you're taking a broad perspective and deepening and stretching your field of view? How much information are you looking at? Which people are you going to? Are you always going to the same people so that all you're ever hearing are the same ideas and the same perspectives? How are you prioritizing the information that you're receiving and looking at those different information sources? Are you paying more attention to some views because they're the views that you like to hear over other views? And lastly, your aptitude. What's your willingness to dig into you? Your willingness to challenge your assumptions, your preconceived ideas, your expectations, your own internal bias that you have, because we all have it, we all have bias. How are you willing to challenge all of that so that you take on board those different ideas, those different perspectives, that you're going into discussions and debates with a curious and an open mind? You're not going in with a fixed perspective. I'm right, they're wrong. All of this, it's not easy. It takes time, it takes practice, and above all else, it takes a commitment to want to do this, because you're wanting to make good decisions. You're wanting to make sure that your decision is going to help you make the most progress. I love the quote from Alfred Sloan. If you haven't heard of him, he was the former CEO of General Motors. And he used to say, when they were getting to a point of getting close to making a decision, I take it, we're all in complete agreement on the decision. And if that's the case, then I propose that we postpone further discussion on this matter until our next meeting, to give ourselves some time to develop disagreements and then perhaps gain some understanding of what this decision is all about. That sounds like a good place to start too. Take care, and I'll see you next week.